Samaritan Difference, it's not what people have said or what they have done, it's how you make them feel. My first experience with the Samaritan Difference happened while I was still in training with Samaritan. I was assigned to ride with the nurse, and before we got into our first home, the nurse gave me a little bit of history as to what was going on in the home, and the patient was a fairly new patient to Samaritan, kind of refusing some of our services because she wanted her daughter to do everything for her. As you can imagine, the daughter was overwhelmed. It's a very large family, wonderful family support, but the daughter was still the caregiver and doing just about everything in the home. We walked in, it was exactly the way the nurse described it. There were about 10 to 12 adult grandchildren in the living room, and they were sitting there watching TV. The primary caregiver was the daughter, who was in the kitchen making breakfast and running between the kitchen back into the patient's bedroom trying to convince her to let our home health aide perform the morning duties. Our nurse walked in. She told the daughter that she was going to go in and talk to the mother and see if she can convince her to accept some of our services. When she went back there, you could hear the patient say, "I really don't need you. I have my daughter and I don't need anybody else." After a few minutes, the room got very quiet and you heard the patient's voice again, and she said, "Okay, I'll do it, but only for my daughter." The nurse came out. She went into the living room. She talked to the grandchildren and she thanked them for being such a wonderful and supportive family, and expressed her concerns about the caregiver, the mother having, or the daughter having too many responsibilities on her. And one by one, the grandchildren started stepping up and saying, "Well, I can help out in the kitchen, and I can take over the laundry, and I could do more." And before you know it, the nurse went back into the room, took care of the patient. The grandchildren are now in the kitchen, assisting the primary caregiver with the breakfast. And by the time the nurse came out, she grabbed the daughter's hand and said, "Now I want you to go in and visit with your mother. Enjoy your mother. Visit with your mother." She went in, sat by her bedside, and you could hear laughter in a very short period of time. And the grandchildren are now cleaning the house. And it was amazing to me because it's like an orchestra leader going in, having all these wonderful, beautiful instruments, but they were just slightly out of tune. And she put them in this beautiful orchestra with perfect harmony. And it was just incredible how one person can make such a big difference.
So many situations of that I witnessed coworkers give excellent service to our patients and families. But the one thing that I remember that happened not long ago was we had a young patient at the inpatient unit. Her family was not really close by, so it was difficult for them to get there to see her. She wasn't eating a whole lot, just a little bit here and there. And one day someone shared garlic knots with her that we had. I'm not really sure where it came from. But then she decided that was something that she wanted again a couple days from them. She really wasn't eating that much, so it was really something she wanted. So our manager, Terry, arranged for her to be able to have some garlic knots that day, which was really significant to her, and I think really made a big difference to her as well as her family, because they knew that she was really being taken care of in a special way.
Hi everyone. I was asked to come up with a customer service idea for the referral center, and I didn't have that hard of a time to come up with this idea because it happens every day. But I do want to say that our staff in there goes above and beyond, and I'm going to give you an example. We do work 8:30 to 4:30, but many days we stay late. And this one particular day at 4:30, it's time to go, but we're still there working. At 5 p.m. a fax comes over, we look at it, it's from Cooper. So instead of going home and going to dinner or wherever anybody had plans, we stayed late. We take care of that referral. We can't let it sit there. It was a Cooper referral, and it happened to be a young woman with a language barrier. So we got out there, had a liaison go out, set up the language line so we could communicate. and we made it happen. We got the patient home that night. She was comfortable in her home, and it made a big difference. And that's why hospitals refer to us, because of our response time. We get out there as soon as possible and make it happen. So this is just one example I have. We have many that happen every day in there in the referral center, but our staff does go above and beyond, and I'm very proud of them for showing the customer service and Samaritan excellence that they do.